Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Thursday, February 27th. I am joined by Matt Schoolfield at schools_01 on Twitter. You can follow me at ZLilja, LILJATCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Instagram, Facebook. Just type in typical Chicago fans and follow us on there. We'll go to YouTube. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Subscribe to the YouTube page. We put all of our TCF morning shows on there, so go check it out. And wherever you get your podcast from, go on there. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. If it's Apple, subscribe, rate, review, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Give us a 5-star rating, please. And if it's if you got Spotify, go on there, follow Typical Chicago Fans on there, give us a review. And if it's somewhere else, do what you got to do on there. Type in Typical Chicago Fans and find us on there. Thank you to our sponsor, The Muddy Otter. Go to themuddyotter.com with this beautiful mug right here. You won't be able to get, this is a one-of-a-kind TCF logo, but if you like the look of the mug, go to themuddyotter.com. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. If you have some custom ideas for them, they do pottery and woodworking. Hannah and Mitch Prentice. Like I said, Facebook and Instagram, if you got some custom ideas for them, hit them up on there, and they'll do their best to try and help you out with your idea. Again, that is themuddyotter.com. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Also, shout out to Score Trader. I think Boomy said there's a event going on Saturday in maybe South Carolina, I think it is. I'm not the best at this whole politics thing, but if you want to get involved in that, go to the Apple Store, download the Score Trader app, make an account on there. You'll be able to buy and sell, trade, I guess it is the lingo, with the stocks, the candidates, and which ones you think you are going to win. And you get a percentage points, and then they'll get a winner from that. Again, it is Score Trader. Go to the Apple Store, download the Score Trader app, and then follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Again, that is Score Trader. Thank you to our sponsors, The Muddy Otter and Score Trader. It is Thursday. It is the end of the week for the TCF Morning Show. Like I said, I am joined by my guy, Matt Schoolfield, here on It's kind of a chilly Thursday night. We had a little bit of snow last night, but not the crazy amount that we were told we were going to have throughout the week. But let's get into the weekend. Let's get into some of the subjects here. Our first subject, the world record plank. I don't know. What was the guy? 62 years old. I don't know.
I believe
what
so.
would make you want to break this record? I think it was like 8 hours. I used to not be able to do it for
An absolute crazy person.
1 minute in high school. I thought it was maybe as long as I could plank. But other than that, I don't know. It looked like when he got done, it was just painful to even stop the plank. Like, just to get down. Like, all your muscles have to hurt. I would wake up the next day after doing it maybe for like a minute, 4 or 5 times of practice, and be sore. 8 hours at 62 years old? You're like triple my age? Like, that's embarrassing to me.
It's insane, dude.
I guess not. I'm 25 now. But
The picture on the article that I saw is like his body looks like it's one giant muscle spasm. He looks like all of his muscles are just going to burst out of his skin. It looks like the most painful, miserable experience you could ever have.
I've
8 hours planking at 62 years old is an absolute just. I don't know. I don't have any words.
I would say
it says he was a former U.S. Marine and retired DEA agent. That's hard to say. He held the
what was it? 8
hours for an hour and 20 minutes, and then it went for 8 hours, 1 minute and 1 second was the record that he broke.
Oh my!
He's from Naperville too,
really?
Illinois. Well, yeah.
We'll have to get it. Maybe we can get him on the podcast to come on here and talk about why the hell you would want to do a plank for 8 hours. Like, that's just like this. I worked out a little bit in high school, and not much after high school, but I was never even close to the in shape this guy probably has to be. Like, you must have like 0% body, or was it body fat or whatever, like, to be able to do something like that.
It says he spent 4 to 5 hours a day in a
Oh
plank
my
pose.
god.
Then he would do 700 push-ups a day, 2,000 sit-ups a day, in sets of 100,
Oh,
500 leg
oh
squats a
my
day.
god.
For the upper body and the arms, they do approximately 300 arm curls a day. That is absolutely
Dude,
insane,
oh my
dude.
gosh.
That's nuts.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
That's, I mean, not insane. That's awesome to be able to do something like that. To me, I don't know, 2,000 crunches. I don't know if I've done 2,000 crunches my whole life.
I was just
I'm
thinking
like, dude,
that, dude.
I've done
I was just thinking that that's a day
every
for
once in a
him.
while. You'd have to do like 10 at practice, maybe almost every
Yeah,
practice. Even that, like,
yeah. Spring training and
I guess,
baseball. It's
yeah,
like, okay, yeah, like
maybe
get the old arm loosened
maybe
up.
I've done over 2,000, but he does 2,000 a day. He's done more than me in probably 2 days than I've ever done in my whole life.
That's
Easily.
insane. That's
Easily.
insane.
But
I don't know,
I
man.
guess you'd have to be on kind of a crazy workout plan to be able to do a plank for 8 hours. It doesn't seem like you would just be able to go out there and just like you wouldn't be able to train
Most
for a
people,
little bit. You'd have to go train for a while. My goodness.
most people are unable to sleep for 8 hours, and this guy's planking for 8 hours.
Unbelievable. And like you said, I mean, I watched the end of it. It just looked painful to even like stop the plank. That's like just every muscle in your body must be cramped up. I couldn't imagine. Like imagine like
It's nuts,
trying
dude.
to sleep after doing that. I guess you would be tired, but like, oh, I couldn't imagine.
I think I don't know if you'd probably. I was thinking like you'd have to go into a hot tub. I would think like
I don't know.
the
But like
warmth
you
to like
said,
start. I don't
our
know.
body and that guy's body are two different things.
I gotta feel like you need like help
if I
move,
planked
like
for
being moved
if
for
I
a
planked
while. Like
for
you can't just get out of that
if I
position.
planked for 10 minutes right now, you would have to maybe take me to the hospital. Like that's
Well,
that's
I had to plank for 10 seconds. I'd probably throw up.
like that's just that's crazy. Let's move on to we got this little spring training update. We are what is it our second week of games in spring training?
About the roughly week and a half.
We're a little under a month into spring training itself. We're slowly getting into March here, Matt. I mean, our next show will be in March. That's crazy how time is flying.
Yeah,
The Cubs. I mean, you really don't know how to judge it. It seems like, well, first of all three catchers are playing very well for the Cubs. Do you know the third catcher the Cubs have? His name is going away from me. I'm going to find it. But he threw it down to first base today. I think we got a nice little. When we won the World Series, I think we had three catchers. I'm just saying.
yeah.
But other than that,
Ross Montero and Willie.
other than that, though, it seems like the Cubs are the guys are playing well. Ian Happ's playing well. Javi had a homer today. Almora's playing decent. He's playing all right for the beginning of spring training. Chris Bryant had a pretty good first game. Like I said, it's just spring training. You really don't know, but it seems like there's a good vibe in spring training this year. And Matt, what are your thoughts? I know it's very, very early in spring training still, but what are your thoughts, kind of on the beginning of the Chicago Cubs spring training?
Well, I mean, you don't really care too much about the results, but if your team is going to do anything, you like seeing them win 8-0 like they did today.
Yes.
I mean, that's usually better than not doing anything well.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's
So,
PJ Higgins.
you know, he's a
PJ Higgins is the
Baez had like you said, he homered today. Sounds like he hit well pretty well.
well.
So.
Did you see the homer?
Yeah,
I mean, he
What's
looked
that?
about as confident as you could after he hit that home run. He like checked the bat after, and it's just like that. That shows you what I understand it's the spring training, but that's what the Cubs were missing last year. Like people understand he did not play the last month of the season, last at least few weeks.
Right. It's if he's going to play like he did 2017, where he was like MVP candidate, they're gonna be damn tough to beat in that division. I don't care who else anybody's throwing at them, but they're gonna have to hit. Yeah, I'm really curious to see who's gonna end up like we talked with Don the other day, is winning that fifth pitcher spot. It's going to be interesting.
Well,
to
Lesser
see.
yesterday
I don't have a whole lot of
well.
faith in Chatwood, but yeah. He's always struggled in spring training though too.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it
I'm too
doesn't.
worried
Like
about
I said, it
that.
doesn't matter. But like I said, it's one of those things you hope to maybe go out there after the end of the year you kind of had last year. Hopefully, go out there and start off hot. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. Get that out of the system. You're just probably going out there working on stuff.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but it's better to see good results
But
than
what
not.
was it
We'll just put it
always? They
that way.
always said Greg Maddux, one of the greatest pitchers of all time, would purposely do things in spring training.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and
just to
I'm not
screw
saying
people.
I'm not saying maybe that John Lester is doing anything like that, but it's just like a cool thing to understand. Like he used to go out there and probably just throw some meatballs in there, so then you think the next time you saw him, that's what you were gonna get from him, and he. They don't. There's not a lot of pitchers like that anymore that really play those kind of mind games.
No, yeah, I like the crafty veterans. You got to have one or two around
Speaking of that,
after every good team.
we had
A John
John
Lackey
Lackey
present
today,
sighting.
and
Yeah, that guy's a fucking maniac too.
yeah, that's maybe the type of guy that you'd like to. I was in New York for the Mets Cubs series in New York. He was there, and it's just always exciting to see him because you know if he's somewhere within that dugout, he's going to be saying something, and he's as real as it comes when it comes to pitching and just the game of baseball. And I think that's what this Chicago Cubs need is real talk. Like, not even to sound stupid, they need someone to go out there and tell them what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong, when they're doing it wrong, and when they need to pick it up a little bit. It always kind of, like I said, we all love Joe Madden and everything, but it kind of seemed last year that maybe some guys weren't being held accountable for all the maybe not just giving some of the struggles we were having last year.
Yeah, it seemed like people got complacent.
Hobby even said it. He's like, I was not as prepared as I should have been for some of the games. We were kind of getting away from the preparation and everything. And I'm excited. Like I said, it's just nice to have it's always different to have that new coach vibe. We haven't had it in about 5 years. There's always a change up within spring training. There's always different routines. And like I said, the vibe is going to be very different because, yeah, Joe Madden and David Ross were friends and everything, but they're not the same person. They're not the same type of vibe that they're going to put off in spring training. So I'm excited for the Cubs.
Right.
Nothing bad has happened in spring training. So that's always good. I seen something like I said, Brandon Morrow had the chest strain, but I think that he will make a recovery and be back sometime this spring. So that will be exciting to see if he can get out there. And like I said, he's on a minor league contract right now. It doesn't really mean much of anything. So he'll be one of the it's a question mark. It's not a big question mark because it doesn't really matter that much, like I said, with the money. But if he can be something, then that's big time. And Craig Kimbrell. People forget we have Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot from Kimbrell.
Yeah,
they're going to need him
but
to be,
I think
he's going to have to close short the bullpen. That's to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, they're paying him to do it. He's done it in the past. He hasn't looked good for those. He didn't look good last year really at all. In the World Series, the year before with Boston when they did win it, he's definitely looked shaky at times. But if he goes back to what he was before, then he was an elite level closer and one of the best in the league.
Like you said, all we can hope right now is that he was hurt last year when he came in. Not even came, or just within the process of being a Cub. Got healthy this year, had a nice offseason, got to work with the Cubs organization, has a full spring training, and hopefully that will spark something there. And that's all we can hope for at this point. I mean, nothing else we can do. We're stuck with them for another 2 years.
Yeah, didn't put a ton of miles on the arm last year, really, when it's all said and done.
So you said you got to hope that it was an injury base problem last year. He's fixed the injury, and now we're back to getting healthy and ready for the season.
Yeah, they really need like a guy like maybe a Wick, somebody like him to step up big time.
I was a big fan of Rowan Wick last year. I thought he pitched well when he came in. A young guy that can get guys out.
He's got talent, but you'd like to see him really kind of get some consistency going. Yeah. But
that was tough for the last 2 years or now. It's been tough to find any consistency in the bullpen. So we'll see how that goes. What are some other big injuries? You were saying Severino, Tommy John for the Yankees. That's big time for them. That's a big loss to their starting pitching.
Yeah, it is. Especially Paxton's out for a while too. So it's pretty much Garrett Cole, and that's really one of the Tanaka guys. But
yeah, so
Garrett Cole's going to be kind of having a carry that entire rotation for the most part.
Yeah, I knew it.
They got a good offense, obviously, so they're going to be able to hit their way to a lot of
But
wins
we'll
too.
see. Like I said, Stanton and Judge both kind of fought injuries last
Stanton's
year.
hurt. They said Stanton may miss the start of the season
He's
too.
always not always hurt, but he's been hurt a lot for a guy that's getting paid a lot of money.
We'll say pretty close to always.
Yeah.
It seems like he's always dinged up.
Aaron Judge was out for a big portion of last season, so we'll see if they can stay healthy. They got a lot of money invested in Garrett Cole, so hopefully he can step up.
Did you see Bregman was hit? He was the.
But did you see
seventh Astro to be?
Do you
hit
follow
already?
it? What is it? It's like the Astro Shame Tour or whatever, 2020 Shame Tour, and they had it. He said on part of my take back in the day, Alex Bregman said that he likes the way that baseball is policed, and so they quoted that.
Oh
and
yeah, I've heard that. I've seen that. That clip's been
played
a lot of places.
They had the quote on the tweet, and then they just had the video of Bregman getting hit today.
Yeah, the problem for him is he's just so cocky too.
They all are. They all are. I mean, like,
yeah, he was especially cocky.
Like,
I mean, he's damn good. He's one of the best players in the league.
Like you said,
he's gonna have to have a big year if they're gonna kind of win back.
Do you listen to Pick Central? Paul LaDuca, a former catcher, all-star catcher. He played for the Mets and Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
He was saying that it's not going to happen. But if the Astros want to get out ahead of this, they'll almost they'll hit somebody from the other team. So then if the other team wants to come back and hit you and they've already
got the warning. They've already got the warning.
And somebody was like, well, that's like the biggest like asshole move to do. It's like, well, what they've already done is pretty much that already, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
But like they were saying, the only problem is like if what's happened, like they accidentally hit somebody later innings, and then like Garrett Cole gets thrown
Dusty
out.
Baker would do that shit too.
That's what they're saying. They were saying he is the type of guy that like, yeah, you don't think that like the Astros will really retaliate on people this year. But Dusty Baker's the type of guy. If you hit one of their guys, there's going to be a lot of other guys getting hit back.
Sure. For sure, definitely, absolutely will.
So it's gonna be.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a fun season. Like baseball, I'm pretty jacked, dude. Like this whole Astro storylines is still compelling to me.
And the nice thing is, like we can watch.
Mookie Betts is going to the Dodgers, dude. That
people forget
that team is gonna be so fun to watch.
People forget there's so much good talent right now in baseball. We're so wrapped up in this Astros. Astros hate.
The Cubs are gonna be good. Coming out of I think the Mets are going to be good this year. Obviously, the Nationals are going to be really good. I think, the Reds could be solid. The Cardinals could be good. There's a lot of good baseball to be played
I've said
this year.
every single year I said it for the last 2 years. Ian Happ and Albert O'More, if they can just do something decent and consistent.
I need to say the Braves too, by the way.
Yeah, the Braves.
No, you're right. Happ and Almora, definitely. I mean, one of those guys has to blow up for the Cubs to really kind of throw their hat in the ring. You're going to need somebody else to step up.
And then within White Sox camp, they're exciting. Young guys are getting in there.
That team's going to be damn good in a couple of years. If not this year, they're going to be be unbelievable at some point in the near future.
I'm going to word this in a way that White Sox fans can't get mad at me. Luis Robert kind of looks like a young Javi Baez. He loves to swing at about almost anything, and he having problem with I saw.
That guy is built like a baseball robot.
No, I'm not saying he's not gonna be.
He's just built like a prototype, dude. Like if
he's going to be a great baseball player. He's going to be he is a great baseball player. But I'm just saying he's got to work on his zone just like Javi had to. Javi had to go back down to the minors a little bit just to work on his thing. You got to realize that this isn't the minors anymore, and you can't swing at everything. Yeah, it's early in spring training, but just saying, you know what I mean?
He's not going to see a fastball.
No, I think it was White Sox Dave that's always said it, and then he brought it up the other day when I think he had like a 2-2 count or something, or a 1-2 count. They're going to throw balls away from him, and he's going to swing at it every time. Like, you just got to be more disciplined at the plate. But the White Sox, they're looking fun. They're exciting. You can watch them on a stream for free. I don't know if – has anyone if you were listening to the show, and you've been able to watch watch a Cubs just watch a Cubs game on Marquee, let me know because I've heard of nobody that's had the channel actually. So I think it's kind of ridiculous though.
I have YouTube, the YouTube TV, so I'm still waiting for them to get their agreement.
They got about They got about a month to get that going, or have some.
I said they got till opening day, and then I'll just have to switch to Hulu or whatever that's got it.
Yeah, and even Hulu. Like my sister has Hulu Live, and they have it in agreement, but it's not working yet. Like the channel is not up and running yet.
Of course it's not.
So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, like I said,
of course it's not.
We'll have to see what. Like the nice thing about the Astros is we don't have any involvement in it. It's not our favorite team. It's not a team in our division. It's not even a team in the same league. Like they're in the American League. It doesn't matter. We can watch this from afar and just get to watch it. We don't have to be really involved in it, and that's kind of nice.
No,
like I said, I don't think the Cubs play the Astros at all, so I don't think there'll be anything like that. But it'll be nice to have a team that it's not always the Red Sox, Yankees, Cubs, Dodgers getting the hate. The Astros, who have been a team that have been beloved for like the last 2-3 years by so many, has just gotten turned on so quickly. And then did you see
it was
Springer went up today and he got booed and he tried to send that ball to the moon and swung so hard he fell on his knees.
Yeah, he was trying to destroy a ball. If that's gonna happen, they're gonna struggle, dude. If they're gonna try pressing like that, they can't do that.
No,
you can't. I don't know. They got to worry about a little bit of a regression. I think just in kind of trying to overdo it a little bit. But.
So we'll see how that goes.
You see Tebow?
Yeah, well, yeah, Tebow with the home run, but also he's playing for the Philippines national team
in the World Baseball Classic qualifier.
How does that work? Does he have like
the Philippines?
Was he born there? I thought I heard he was born there.
He was. His parents were missionaries in the Philippines when Tebow was born in 1987.
So he could technically
he was born in the Philippines.
He could never be president of the United States of America.
The family. Well, I don't know about that because he's born to U.S. citizens overseas.
But that doesn't.
So
don't you have to be born in America? Oh, I guess.
I don't know about. I'm not getting into constitutional law here, man. I'm not.
Oh, I don't.
I don't remember.
I don't even. No, me either. I just like to, whatever I can go against Tebow. Whatever goes against Tebow helps me out.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can't. I don't know. But that's something to check. That's where we need Boomy and the teacher.
Wild move to be playing for the Philippines national team, like
for sure it is.
Because first of all, it's not very good. Sorry, he's not very good. And second of all, I guess I just don't know what you have. I mean, like I said, if he was born there, maybe that qualifies him to play. I just didn't know like anyone could go play for any country.
He spent parts of 4 seasons in the minors. He said 163 with 4
that home run
runs
looked awful.
In 19,
he has 4 home runs and 19 RBIs in his career.
Right? This has got to stop at some point. That was 19 RBIs last season. In his first year at AAA.
Wait, my thing is, why don't you go
163, 4 homers, 19 RBIs in AAA.
Why don't you go play in the XFL or something? Dang.
No kidding.
Like, why can that be fun?
Johnny Manziel, what was that all about, by the way?
I don't know what's going on with Johnny.
Speaking of the XFL,
I don't know.
Quarterbacks that should be playing.
He's back in the media a little bit, and it's hard to see where he's at in life with it.
Too.
Like, is he like actually trying to get back in the NFL, or is he still like in his ways? I don't know. I can't tell really, because I see him on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, and he's tweeting. He used to do the stuff with the bar stool, kind of fell out of that.
Like dropped off the face.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, so I don't know if he's actually trying to get in the XFL. You would think that they would want him, because I'm over the XFL. I'm out on the XFL. I don't think it's very. It's okay to watch, like just for the heck of it, but I don't really find it very interesting.
I can't get over the 3-point play,
which is never used though.
Everything out of
it's
whack.
Never used. That's the thing. Like
I know, you're right, but it's still just.
I would actually like it more if it was actually used, but like no one uses it, so it's not even exciting. Like it'd be kind of cool
Fair,
to figure
yeah.
where like
I mean,
you have 3 different options, and if people would actually be willing to use them, I'd be excited more.
yeah, that's true.
Let's move
I can see
on
that.
to our next subject. We got the everyday Madden ratings. I kind of threw this right at Matt right away. He was not able to ask his wife tonight for her
No, I know.
suggestions,
I'm
so
I'm coming up blank too. So I might have to throw the ball back to you to still throw the first topic out because I'm just like, you know what? I got one.
let's
I
hear
got
it.
one. Traveling in an airport, like to get on a plane. Like, how are you about like
Aw-
navigating your way through an
Awful
airport?
because I'm already so scared about flying that I'm very nervous at the airport. Very.
So what's the number
Oh,
then?
okay.
What's the number?
Probably like a 45. Like I can get around. I can get
45.
around, but I'm a mess. I'm very.
Are you like asking people where maybe stuff
No,
is?
not
Like,
that.
are you
It's
like,
not. It's not that I can get places I don't need to ask people, but like I wouldn't want to be with me. I'm probably pretty cranky.
Yeah.
I'm probably like very nervous. Like doesn't feel very like my stomach doesn't feel very
you
well.
you'd rather be one of like the one of the crew members as opposed to like the chief in this one, right?
Yeah, I don't like getting off the ground.
Like if you're in the group, you're like hanging out maybe third or fourth row back of people like to get to where you need to go, right?
Yeah, like I said, it's not the problem like getting there. It's just like this is probably not nice to be, and like I probably would get lost like at O'Hare or something. But yeah, I'm not. My brain isn't fully functioning when I'm there because I'm the heights are like my fear in life, so that just brings all of it out right there.
Yeah, if you don't like flying, that makes things off.
What are you,
That
Matt?
always makes it tough. I'd probably say like an 87, pretty good.
See,
But
I can
like
see you getting to the
I
airport.
sometimes
You want to get to your spot because you want to get to the bar right next to
that
the lane.
that happens, and part of my problem why I'm not going to go any higher than that, and like into the 90s, is I have a tough time trying. I try to get there. I don't want to get there too early, but I don't want to get there and like be sprinting, through.
Hmm.
And I always end up getting there too
It's
early.
always
And
like
it seems
trying to
like I
time it
could have
out
waited a
perfectly.
while. So it's like time you lose. I'm not great at executing usually when I expect security to be, easy, it ends up being busy. If I expect it to be busy, it ends up flying through. So it's like that timing that I still got to know. And that I think comes just with flying more, more experience, that kind of thing. So I'm going to have to say like probably like an 87. I'm going to stick with that number.
Yeah, like I said, I just it's not the navigating part. It's the like just mood of myself at the airport.
I am with Carl. I am with Barstool.
Oh,
Carl through
Midway
it
is
all. Midway all the
so
way.
much better.
Midway all the way. Southwest all day
It's so much better. It's not even funny because like O'Hare is just a mess. To even get there is a mess.
long. Yeah, getting there sucks too. You're right.
Yeah, it's just not a good time. Let me try and think of.
What's your skill we're going with tonight?
Let's see here. I'm trying to think of a good one.
It's great, right?
It's great radio. Oh, I got one. I'll do this. How about this? How about this? We're both getting. I'm getting to the age where I probably need to start doing this. How are you at planning things like going to hang out with your buddies, or you're going to the bar, or you're going anywhere? How are you with the planning? Because I will start with mine. I'm about a 27 to 30 because I'm horrible at planning anything. Just tell me where to be, when to be there, and I'll be there. But trying to get a bunch of people to one area, not good for me. I forget
Yeah,
things.
I hate doing that. Hate doing it. So it's like, it's always one of those things like you just it's so much more work than it's worth.
Yeah.
And like trying to, you got to get like you got one group of people that just they're like the cows off in the pasture that you can never wrangle in. They just keep busting out of the fence. You're screwed no matter what. They just keep going wherever they want to go. But I don't know. They got another group that is complaining about the cost of everything. Then you got the other group that's like, it's like, come on, guys. If you're going to you go to Vegas with a group of people, you got somebody saying we're eating at the $1.99 buffet. Come on, let's have a little fun for God's sake. But I don't know. So like planning things though, it's just so hard. You get so many different just people just wanting their little 2 cents in. So that part of it I hate. So I'd probably say like a 60 top.
60, yeah. Like I said, I can see you being able to get everyone together to go to the party, but like having to deal with everyone's
frustration
moods,
level just skyrockets.
You may need some Tito's for that.
Yeah, and like, yeah, my patience is just not there for that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, but I'm also just like, I would just forget. Like I would forget to text everybody. No one would be there on time. It just wouldn't work out. So I'm going to give myself like a 30.
Yeah, I'm no better than a 60 on that one. No way.
So if you got any everyday Madden ratings for us, send it into the Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or send it to @schools_01 or @ZLALJA TCF DMs and let us know. We'll throw them out there next time, or maybe we will use them and shout you out on the show. But let's get into. We got a little bit of a segment here. Our guy Kyle Haggerty is going to come on the show right now and give you a little college basketball update.
Hey, Zach. Hey, Boomy. Thanks for having me on again. We're less than a month away from Selection Sunday. Things are starting to heat up now. We got a lot of scenarios. Lenardi's brackets are coming out more often. We can talk about what we see there. And we'll also talk about some implications on what's going to be coming forward in the next week. So tonight, we got a couple big games between Arizona and USC and Wisconsin at Michigan I want to talk about. First, let's talk about the Pac-12 matchup with right now Lenardi has 6 seed Arizona versus last 4 in USC Trojans. Right now USC is sitting on the right side of the bubble, but Arizona's been playing good as of late, winning 3 of their last 4. And Arizona will likely be around a 3-point favorite on the road. They're looking to pick up another quad 1 win, kind of move up into that 4 or 5 seed conversation. And I think they'll pull it off. USC is not a team I really expect to see come tournament time. They're a very solid team. They have a good big man, but at the end of the day, I don't think they'll have enough to get it done and to get into the tournament. The Pac-12 doesn't offer a lot of quad 1 win opportunities. So with that being said, I expect Arizona to win this and USC to kind of fade the black as their season comes to a close. Now, we could see them pull off an upset or two in the Pac-12 tournament, possibly see them in the Pac-12 championship with a few upsets. Then we could be talking about the Trojans again in the tournament, but until then, I don't see it. Let's talk about Wisconsin at Michigan. The Wolverines are a team people need to keep their eye on. As long as Isaiah Livers is healthy, this team can most definitely win the national title. Archie Miller said it best. With Livers on the floor, this is one of the best teams in the country. Juwan Howard has these guys playing great ball lately, and they've made some deep runs with this core they have now, and I'm definitely expecting a Michigan blowout. Wisconsin's not the same team away from the Kohl Center. And like I said, Isaiah Livers be back. Isaiah Livers missed the last game against Rutgers, but Michigan did end up giving Rutgers their first loss at the RAC. So I still expect Michigan to keep this confidence going, this hot streak riding, and hopefully the Big Ten can kind of sort itself out a little bit. Friday nights for the Ivy League, and it's Yale's league to lose at this moment. They're sitting at 8-2 in the conference with a very winnable game against Penn. I don't expect much to change there. Yale's sitting at 20-6. They did get some votes this week for the AP Top 25, and I will expect them to win this week. Right now they're sitting at a 12 seed, playing Michigan in Lunardi's bracket. However, like I just talked about Michigan, I do see Michigan winning, kind of moving up, possibly getting into the 3 conversation as they keep tallying up their victories. Yale's another team. If they keep winning, they could possibly find themselves in the 11 range, possibly even 10. But 12 is a good spot for them, and they'll definitely give any number 5 a tough matchup. Also Friday night, Davidson's going to travel to number 2 Dayton in ESPN's bracket. Dayton needs to be a little more dominant lately here. The Flyers haven't won a game by more than 10 points since February 11th against Rhode Island. And if you remember that game, Rhode Island's point guard, he left the game about midway through. He rolled his ankle, missed about 10 minutes at a half. Dayton pulled away. The wheels fell off of Rhode Island. They haven't really looked the same since. Still a good basketball team. But like I said, Davidson's a tough matchup. I kind of expect them to pull off the upset here. Dayton's kind of looking for a recalibration. Like I said, they've had a 5-point victory, an 8-point victory off of subpar talent. So a recalibration wouldn't be bad for Dayton heading into the postseason here. They kind of get that loss out of their way, and then they can get themselves right again as they head into the conference tournament. Saturday, we got Duke heading to red-hot Virginia. Right now, Duke is a 2 seed, but we all know they took 2 big losses here recently. They took that 20-point walloping from North Carolina State, and they also took that double overtime 12-point loss to Wake Forest. Now, this is a young Duke team, and they're heading to Virginia at the wrong time. For a team that's been so stout and so promising, they've looked very mortal lately. Now they go to the University of Virginia, who's won 5 in a row and will surely give Duke's offense fits. UVA is a team that's been there, done that. The reigning national champs are looking to kind of move up their status. Right now, they're a 10 seed in the bracket, but with a win against Duke, I could definitely see them being into that 8-9 conversation. And then, hell, if they win a few games in the ACC tournament, we could even be talking about a 6 or a 7 for a Virginia team that was on the bubble a couple weeks ago. Now, on to the SEC. Now, if I can quote the late, great Dennis Green in regards to Auburn, this team is exactly who we thought they were. They're not very good. Now, it's funny, you're probably wondering, this team's 24-4. I know. They played a very soft schedule now, and 2 of those losses came in their last 4 games. This team started 22-2, and now they're sitting at 11-4 in conference, and Kentucky's kind of looking to widen that gap from the rest of the SEC. Auburn's coming to Kentucky at the wrong time. Kentucky's playing good ball. This is exactly when Calipari gets his young teams getting hot, playing well, and I expect no different moving forward. Kentucky's going to run the table moving out, and if they do so, they're sitting at a 4 right now in the bracket. They kind of run the table on their way out. They win the conference tournament like I'm expecting them to. They could definitely be talking about a 2 seed with Kentucky, maybe even possibly a 1, depending on how things shake up out west with Gonzaga and San Diego State. Now let's move on to Saturday, which is big for the Big Ten. Now, as of Tuesday, we had a 6-way tie for second place in the Big Ten, and with Sparty's win over Iowa, we got some sorting out. Michigan State moved to second in the conference, but now they're tied with Penn State at 11-6. An Illinois win over Northwestern will move them to 11-6 in conference. And if Wisconsin upsets Michigan, which I don't think it would happen, but definitely possible, they could have 4 teams tied at 11-6 going into Saturday. However, something will have to give when Michigan State heading to College Park Saturday taking on Maryland. And Penn State going to Iowa, which is no easy task for any team to do. If everything goes like I suspect it will, which very rarely happens, then I expect to look something like this heading into March. Maryland beats Sparty and moves to 13-4 and kind of a runaway for the season title. Illinois beats Nebraska, and they'll be sitting at 11-6 with the Hoosiers coming to town on Sunday. Hoosiers playing good as of late. Archie Miller's got this Indiana team. They're definitely good enough to beat anybody, but they can definitely lose to anybody, and they haven't been that good away from Assembly Hall. Penn State will drop to 11-7 after beating Rutgers, but then falling to Iowa at Iowa. And the Hawkeyes will find themselves at 11-7 with a win over Penn State and their most recent loss to Michigan State. Now, Wisconsin, like I said, I think they'll probably lose to Michigan and they'll drop to 10-7. But then they play Minnesota on Sunday, and we could see them at 11-7. So like I said, we could see another 4-way tie at 11-7 with Illinois at 11-6. I mean, we could get messy here in the Big Ten again. Now, everyone's kind of fighting for that top 4 because they want that double bye in the Big Ten tournament, and we all know how tough that's going to be. Now, so long story short, there's still a lot of basketball to be played in Big Ten country. And the next couple weeks will kind of serve as a nice little appetizer for the conference tournament that'll feed our appetite heading into the middle of March here. Thanks for having me on again, guys. I look forward to talking to you more moving forward.
Thank you, Kyle, for that great college basketball update. Again, that is Kyle Haggerty. our college basketball guru. We'll have him more on the show leading up to March Madness. Like I said, the next show will be in March, so we're getting closer and closer. We cannot wait. It's going to be a beautiful time for the TCF boys. We got a lot of content coming at you during March Madness. I may be sleeping in Matt's basement in a fort while we watch the first few days of March Madness. So that's that. We'll see how that goes. Matt, anything post-show?
No, man. I think that does it for me. A little bit of you get us too loose with no games to talk about. I think there could be some random topics to talk about. We didn't need a wacky web story. It's pretty much the whole show.
We talked about the world record planker.
We're talking Tim Tebow playing for Philippines.
That's crazy, though. I still can't believe that's happening.
I mean, it's just so odd. Like, come on, Tim Tebow's literally like the all.
Like, where is that coming in at?
You know, like
I said, I guess maybe because he was born there, but that's confusing. Thank you to our sponsor, The Muddy Otter. Go to themuddyotter.com if you want a beautiful mug just like this one. Yes, unfortunately, you can't get one with the TCF logo on it. Oh, maybe if you ask for it, you could. But if you want a mug like that, go to themuddyotter.com or go to their Facebook and Instagram page. Follow them on there, The Muddy Otter. If you got some different ideas for them, Hannah and Mitch Prentice, pottery and woodworking. And thank you to Score Trader. Go to the Apple Store, download the Score Trader app. Make an account for free, play for free. I think he said Saturday is South Carolina. Don't hold me to that, but I know there is an event on Saturday. So go on to the Score Trader app, make an account for free, download the app, and have some fun. And thank you to our sponsors, Score Trader and The Muddy Otter. Shout out to Matt Schoolfield at schools_01 for joining me tonight. I am Zach Lilia. You can follow me at ZLilia, LILJATCF. Main page is at typical_Chicago. Instagram, Facebook. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Follow us on there. Go to the YouTube. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Subscribe to the Typical Chicago Fans page on there. Like I said, we put all of our TCF morning shows on there. And then go wherever you get your podcast from. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Spotify, follow, and review. Apple, subscribe, rate, review. 5-star rating, please. We would love that. And then if you get your podcast anywhere else, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. Do what you got to do on there. Matt, anything else before the weekend?
No, man.
Hopefully everyone has a great weekend. Hopefully you stay warm. This weather is so confusing to me. I don't know if it's gonna be warm or hot this week. Not hot, but maybe a little warmer, maybe a little colder. It could snow. It could rain.
Just get us to summer.
Yeah, get us to summer.
Just get us to summer. I'm done.
Thank you for listening, watching to the TCF Morning Show, Thursday, February 27th. We love you all.
Peace.